Hello children, welcome to Bedtime with Booktopia, and today I have got a very funny and interesting book. A Quiet Night In, written by Jill Murphy. It's a perfect bedtime book, not only for you but for your parents too. Do you remember the large family? The elephants? Yeah? Mr. Elephant, Mrs. Elephant? If you do not know what I'm talking about, it is time you check out the Mr. Large series and the Large Family series of books. They are so hilarious, funny, and I'm sure you will love it. But today, I am going to read a very interesting book. Let's start. A Quiet Night In. I want you all in bed early tonight, said Mrs. Large. It's Daddy's birthday, and we are going to have a quiet night in. Can we be there too? Asked Laura. No, said Mrs. Large. It wouldn't be quiet with you lot all charging about like a herd of elephants. But we are a herd of elephants, said Lester. Smarty pants, said Mrs. Large. Come on now, coats on, it's time for school. That evening, Mrs. Large had the children bathed and in their pajamas before they had even had their tea. They were all very cross. It's only 4:30, said Lester. It's not even dark yet. It soon will be, said Mrs. Large grimly. After tea, the children set about making place cards and decorations for the dinner table. Why? Yes, it's Daddy's birthday, right? Then they all tidied up, and Mrs. Large tidied up again. Mr. Large arrived home looking rather tired. We're all going to bed, said Lester. So you can be quiet, said Laura. Without us, said Luke. Shh, said the baby. Happy birthday, said Mrs. Large. Come and see the table. Mr. Large sank heavily into the sofa. It's lovely, dear, but do you think we could have a dinner on trays in front of the TV? I'm feeling a bit tired. Of course, said Mrs. Large. It's your birthday. You can have whatever you want. We'll help, said Luke. The children ran to the kitchen and brought 2 trays. I'll set them, said Mrs. Large. We don't want everything ending up on the floor. Can we have a story before we go to bed? Asked Luke. Please, asked Lester. Go on, Dad, said Laura. Just one. Story, said the baby. Oh, all right, said Mr. Large. Just one then. Lester chose a book and they all cuddled up on the sofa. Can you see? They're all cuddling up with Daddy. Mr. Large opened the book and began to read. One day, Binky Bus drove out of the big garage. Hello, he called to his friend, Mickey Milkfloat. I don't like that one, said Laura. It's a boy's story. Look, said Mr. Large. If you're going to argue about it, you can all go straight to bed without any story. So they sat and listened while Mr. Large read to them. After a while, he stopped. Go on, Daddy, said Luke. What happened after he bumped into Danny Dustcart? Did they have a fight? Asked Lester. Look, said Laura. Daddy's asleep. Shh, said the baby. Oh no, Daddy's very tired. And can you see? He's fast asleep. Mrs. Large laughed. Poor Daddy, she said. Never mind, we'll let him snooze a bit longer while I take you all up to bed. Will you just finish the story, Mom? Asked Lester. We don't know what happens in the end. Please, said Laura. Story, said the baby. Move up then, said Mrs. Large. She picked up the book and began to read. Which way you going, you silly dust cart? Said Binky. Just then, Pip the police car came driving by. After a while, Mrs. Large stopped reading. What's that strange noise? Asked Lester. It's Mummy snoring, said Luke. Daddy's snoring too. Can you see? Mummy and Daddy fell asleep in the middle of the story. They must be very tired, said Laura kindly. Shh, said the baby. The children crept from the sofa and fetched a blanket. They covered Mr. and Mrs. Large and tucked them in. Can you see? Such good children. We'd better put ourselves to bed, said Lester. Come on. Shall we take the food up with us? Asked Luke. It's on the trays, and it's a pity to waste it, said Laura. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. Anyways, they wanted a quiet night in. And the children? Can you see Mummy and Daddy fast asleep? And the children are having fun with the tray of food? That's brilliant. Children, perhaps your Mummy and Daddy are quite tired too at the end of the long week. And they want a quiet night in too. Right? Will you help them have a quiet night in? Lovely children you all are, aren't you? That's amazing. I'll see you soon tomorrow. And remember, there's just 2 more days for the bedtime stories. Do you want more? And I think you should comment if you need more. Good night, children. Have a great night.